This computer. Hello, welcome
Hello,
back. We are
hello.
episode 6, and we've lovingly, let's throw it out there to everybody. Wolf Mama podcast, Mama
The
Wolf
Mama Wolf, yeah,
podcast.
Mama Wolf podcast. I think it's got a nice ring.
I do. I love it. Okay, so this is episode 6, and we're gonna do just a little some Q&A today. I'm gonna kick it
Hmm.
off to Krys here to get us rolling, but we are back after a little break and excited to be chatting again.
Yeah, so these are in no particular order, and some of them were just, I think, common questions that come up that I thought maybe we could chat. Some are just topics and like where we fall on like our opinion of those. So the first one up, are there foods that burn fat? Like I eat them and they magically burn fat while I'm not doing anything.
Wouldn't that be so nice?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be so fun?
So, okay, I would be. So the whole topic came up because I was listening to someone talk about how if you ate junk food, you were never going to lose weight, but if you ate whole foods and there are foods that burn fat, that you would be better. And so, first of all, it's just blatantly not true, right? Because you actually can lose weight if you eat shit. Like a calorie is a calorie is a calorie.
Yep.
Um, However, of course, you're going to get more nutrients from whole food. You're probably going to feel fuller longer from whole foods, but there's no foods that burn fat.
No, no.
Any other additions to that?
Yeah, I mean we talked about the calories in, calories out, and I think we used the example of you can be in a calorie deficit of just eating cupcakes. I can put you in a calorie
Correct.
deficit and eat all your calories from cupcakes, and because you're in that deficit, technically you should see a reduction in weight. Um, where that weight is coming from, again, we obviously like don't know. And like you just said, eating more nutrient dense foods that are supporting, like you've talked a lot about the training that you're doing, what your body needs to recover. So I would say it's more so an argument of different foods can better or worse support the things that you are trying to accomplish. All foods are composed of nutrients, proteins, fats, carbohydrates. None of them are bad or good. They just have different composition, different structure, different minerals and vitamins included in there. But no, unfortunately, there is no magic food that just you eat it and it burns fat.
Yeah.
As a metabolic issue when it comes to burning fat. It's a hormone issue. Fat has a purpose,
Right.
many purposes, and so fat is neither good nor bad. It is something that exists with a purpose, and that is that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think just to add to that is calories are an energy, like how we measure an energy. So like food is an energy source. Um, and so thinking of it that way versus like I'm gonna eat this food and it's gonna burn fat. It's like, no, this food's gonna provide energy. Now, what what energy and what you use that food for may be different.
Yes,
But
yes.
yeah, that was an interesting one. All right, thoughts around HRT or hormone replacement therapy.
Yeah, this one was interesting to me. I feel like I've not given a ton of thought to this. So I wanted to hear your thoughts first, if you don't mind, and then kind of add them from there if I have anything.
Yeah, so I brought up this question specifically because I seem to have stumbled into this perimenopausal, postmenopausal group, and I'm starting to see like similarities and like just like different things are popping up. So one of my clients has started HRT for some of her symptoms. She's postmenopausal. And so when we think about most uh postmenopausal women, the effects of the estrogen or the lack of estrogen can be huge when it comes to training, with recovery, ligament and tendon density. There can like the oh my god, I can't talk. Like menisci and discs and all of those things might not be as squishy and as flexible as they used to be. So like what does that look like for training? And I have seen some improvement with HRT. And with this current uh, administration, there's a lot of question around HRT and whether it should be used. There was that big debate during the Olympics for sports. So that's kind of where I was wondering if we could just kind of get your opinion on it, or like how if someone came to you and they were taking HRT, like would it make a difference, I guess, in your training approach?
Yeah, I think it's always, I mean, hormones like run and signal everything. They run the show, right? It's funny. I was actually like just talking to my niece about this the other day. She's gonna be 11.
Yeah.
Um, but she was asking some, I don't know, she asked me some question. I was like, oh, because it shifts your hormones. And she was like, what's a hormone? We just like went off and I geeked out and she was like, that's so cool. I was like, isn't it? Um, but yeah, I mean, hormones run the show, right? They are chemical messengers. They come straight, from our brain and our major organs to tell our body what's happening, what needs to be done. And oftentimes when something changes hormonally, we experience some type of symptom. We don't necessarily know where it's coming from. So depending on what symptomology is and how it's impacting, daily life, exercise tolerance, energy tolerance, all of those things. And then also, yeah, being mindful of injury risk and exacerbating issues that are coming up. I actually do have somebody who recently I started working with who's in a like medically induced early menopause
Hmm.
right now. And so she's going through a ton of shifts there. And so it's definitely an area that I think is going to start getting a lot more attention. One person that I was going to share, if individuals want to get more info on this, check out my friend Michelle Flanagan. Her Instagram handle is at Flanagan Health. And she is a certified menopause nurse.
Oh,
So
interesting.
so she worked in a clinical setting, I think still works in a clinical setting, but is also doing some of her own menopausal coaching as well. And she's been talking a lot on her page about hormone therapy and hormone replacement therapy and what that looks like for females who are in the perimenopause state. So that could be a great resource for people to get some information. That's one area that I've been watching to kind of get some of my resources from as well.
Yeah, Dr. Stacey Sims, who we've talked about before, I started reading her book. And that's kind of like all of this is kind of snowballing and has gotten my attention, so I'm kind of down this rabbit hole. Um, but yeah, I think you have to understand that it's not just like a reproductive hormone. And I think that's where people get stuck is like, oh, well, you're not having babies anymore. So like it really doesn't matter. But it does because like you
Yes.
find estrogen in the brain and like there's receptors all over the place. So um to me, if you're having symptoms and it helps, like more power to you.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
The next question. Oh, sorry, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, no.
Are GLP-1s cheating?
I The reaction you're seeing right now is the reaction I had when I read this list of questions. I was like,
It's a hot topic.
it is a hot topic. I feel like I just have so many feelings on GLP-1 and all of these different weight loss medications. No, no, I don't think they're they're cheating in any way. However, I think individuals need more information on what their use actually looks like. And I think we need more information on what the long-term effects of using these drugs is going to look like, which
Hmm.
I don't feel like they've been being used long enough to know those things, but um like yeah, those are my like initial thoughts. So I say like no, they're not cheating. Like everybody has a different reason for using weight loss medications, for doing a weight loss surgery, for undergoing any type of these things. And I actually recently just started following an individual on social media as I'm trying to make my platform more and my feed more robust with individuals that have bodies that look more similar to mine right now as I navigate through my own body dysmorphia. Um, and, I don't know the accuracy here or anything like that, but the message that she was giving was that she had a condition that really negatively impacted her metabolism as an adolescent and young adult. And she tried Ozempic or GLP-1 injections in her adulthood to help her lose the weight. And that medication didn't work for her. And so
Interesting.
I think it's just like where the message that is placed in front of everyone is consistently take this medication, achieve the body you want, live a happy life.
Right, right.
And
Okay.
that's not the reality in many cases when we're looking
Hmm.
long term, because the
Hmm.
use of these medications is not going to be long term. It's going to
Hmm.
be to goal and then no more medication. And then what happens? And then we're just leaving people with all the baggage that they've had for their entire life that's still unresolved, that we're not helping them work through. We're addressing one thing, which is getting their weight lower
Hmm.
with the use of the medication, and then leaving them there to do it. But the reasons people use these medications could be for their health. It could be to achieve a certain body size. It could be because they don't want to do a weight loss surgery. And so this is a
Hmm.
less invasive, less
Alternative.
impacting alternative, things like that.
Yeah.
And I would say in terms of cheating, just because you lose the weight with the use of this medication does not necessarily mean that you will maintain the weight loss. And therefore, what happens if that is the case?
Hmm. Yeah, so I brought up this question because I think when the medication first came out, my thought was I my thought was it kind of seems like cheating to me. And like whether that was my own personal like I would have loved to have taken a pill and like just lost the weight and been done. Um and then the more I learned about it and like understood the reasons why people may take them, what is kind of happening in these situations, yada yada. My idea behind it really changed, and it actually had to do with pregnancy because when I was really pregnant and I couldn't like bend over and like pick stuff up or like I couldn't tie my shoe or put my shoes on, I was like, this was the first time ever I'd been in a situation where I was of a size that made moving so difficult. And it was like this perspective I had never had before. And because it happened so rapidly in pregnancy, it's like a really big shock to your system when you're like, I used to be able to do this like a month ago, and now I literally don't even know how many toes I have anymore. Um, and so to me, I was like, no, this makes way more sense because if I was someone who was in a larger body, first of all, coming to the gym would be excruciatingly like I'd be so nervous. I'd be so scared. Like it'd be so intimidating. Like it would be so is hard just to walk through the door. Never mind then try and get my larger body to do these movements that if walking was already really hard for me, now you want me to jump and you want me to pick things up. Like that's a lot of demand on a body that maybe isn't used to that kind of demand. And like I think I would give up. Like I don't think I'd be able to continue on. And so it clicked in my head like if you're able to get to a point where you're actually able to exercise more easily, where your body is maybe a smaller size and can handle some of the exercises in the intensities, then that makes complete sense to me. If like you need an assistant to get to that point. And then more recently, I've been hearing more about it, and like as people are taking them, the biggest thing is the food noise. People experience this significant reduction in food noise, which I do have some, but not to the extent that some of these people are explaining. And I would have never known, and I don't think these individuals would have known what it was like to not have that food noise. So it's kind of, I think it's I think there's too many factors to be like, oh yeah, for sure this person because they're taking GLP-1s, they're cheating because you don't know their history.
No, no, you don't know their history. And then the other thing that I would add in too is like, because I mean, it's out there, right? Like I was telling Dave the other day, we watch a lot of our shows on Hulu and we don't have the ad-free version. So like we
Oh
get
yeah.
commercials and everything. And I swear every other commercial is GLP-1, Ozempic,
Mm-hmm.
Wegovy, whatever, all the brand name, you know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
all weight loss injections,
Mm-hmm.
pharmaceuticals. And I like one day I looked at him and I was like, I'm gonna friggin' lose it. I
Yeah.
can't stand one more of these flippin' things in my goddamn
Yeah.
face. And
Yeah.
he was like, geez, relax. And I was like, but
Yeah.
like, it's just, it is. It's like shoving this information in front of people. And so it prompted me to ask my own dietitian because like you were saying food noise, like I have the bitch in my head is so fucking loud sometimes still,
Yeah.
and we've worked a lot to strengthen the mute button for her, but
Mm-hmm.
she's there always.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I totally, even being in the health and wellness fitness space, had the intrusive thoughts of like, maybe just do it, or maybe just one more
Yeah.
diet, lose the weight, and then we can move forward with the body positivity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just save the money, do like a liposuction, do whatever, and just like have
Mm-hmm.
fun, and then move forward, right? And it's always the and then. And it's always been the and then. Because
Yeah.
I have pictures. I was showing a client the other day. I was gathering pictures from the last 15 years with my husband, and I'm looking at these things and I'm like, I remember still trying to lose weight at this point, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like this fucking big.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
why? So
Yeah.
anyways, seeing these ads, it prompted me to ask my own dietitian. I was like, what is GLP-1? Like, what is it? What does it do? Like, is this a
Right.
magic pill? Is this a pill that people take and it just burns all the fat in your system? Like, how does
Mm-hmm.
it work?
Mm-hmm.
And it was shared with me that GLP-1 is an appetite suppressant.
Mm-hmm.
It is not burning fat. It is not targeted
Correct.
specifically to fat stores. It is an
Correct.
appetite suppressant. Therefore, it makes you
Mm-hmm.
eat less. Therefore, it is a calorie restrictor.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're eating less, you're seeing a reduction in weight. And we have talked about this multiple times. And this is one reason that people who do take these are encouraged to resistance train because
Yes.
you want that weight to be lost from fat mass. In order to retain
Mm-hmm.
your muscle mass, you have to be stimulating muscle mass, which you do through weight training. But then
Mm-hmm.
support that anabolic state and that muscle tissue growth and or retention, you also need to be eating a certain number of calories per day. So like
Right. Right.
what is it actually looking like on the inside? So again, this just brings the topic of like, you're losing weight, but what type of weight are you losing? But I totally agree with your point of like, yeah, if you're living, like I have tasks that I do sometimes right now at the size that I'm at in terms of like how clothing fits or putting shoes on or like I was wearing a pair of like strappy sandals the other day and like keeping my foot up to like get that buck. I was like, oh my God. I was like, my freaking stomach. So like if that's the motivation to use this medication is so that like your daily life can be more easeful, then I think that's a valid reason to seek an option if nothing else has been helping you with that. And I think our medical providers and our medical system also needs to get on board with providing more resources to the people who are using these weight loss medications to provide the other support to them to help them figure out how they're then going to maintain that weight loss
100%.
long term.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the bigger piece that's missing is
You know what the messy
yes.
part is too?
Yeah.
Sorry, not to cut you off.
No,
I
no, go ahead.
totally just did. I apologize, but is that it'll probably never exist because then people won't need the weight loss medications anymore. And then how will they
I
make money?
mean, you right,
How will
right,
this
right.
billions and billions and billions of dollars industry continue to make money? God forbid
God
they go
forbid.
under
Yeah,
and
so
people just
now
learn
they
how
have,
to live a healthier lifestyle by maintaining their weight loss.
yeah, yeah. I think too, like, so it was explained to me, or my understanding is it slows digestion.
Okay.
Should food slowly be digested? Because I was told by a doctor they did a study and found like week old food in someone's stomach because it was slowing digestion to that point. Like, okay, like maybe that's not super great. We don't really want old food in our stomach, but I'm not saying GLP-1s are bad. I have clients on them. It's gotten them to a point where they feel comfortable coming in the gym and doing those things. And for those individuals, their doctors did say, like, I would really love you to join a gym. I would really like you to do some resistance training. You need to work with a registered dietitian on meal plans and things like that. So if you're interested in that, just make sure like you are reaching out to the whole team because I think this definitely, like you said, needs to be a team effort. And most things are, right? It's not just like a one thing. It's like full picture.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to clarify for myself personally, I'm sure you speak the same language here as well, but just that like I'm not pro or against the use of weight loss medications, diets, restriction, weight loss surgeries, anything like that. I am pro what helps you feel the best in your body. And
Mm-hmm.
I am pro giving you the information that you're going to need in order
Mm-hmm.
to thrive and make the best decision for yourself. So,
Mm-hmm.
whatever is going to help you be the happiest, be the healthiest, and continue showing up for yourself and valuing yourself, that is what I want to help you do.
Yes, in a healthy manner.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a line. There is
there's,
a line.
there's definitely a
There's a
line.
line. We can only support you to a certain point.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so next question. What traits do you feel make you a good coach? I know.
Oh man.
Or
Um,
what things do you think, trait wise, do you have that maybe differ from your atypical personal trainer, business owner, coach, strength coach, the whole gambit?
okay. So one that I feel like has been so abundantly evident to me recently is that I am 1,000,000% open to collaborative care. Like I
Okay.
want the absolute best for my members, my clients, everyone that I work with. And if that means getting information from your PCP, your OB, your midwife, your pelvic health PT, your dietitian, and your grandmother, I am totally game.
She knows.
Right? Um, with keeping in mind also, because this is my job, my values, your values, and your goals. But I always tell individuals, like, when you come in and work with me, if I recommend seeking out a dietitian to work with or seeking out a pelvic floor PT, I don't want there to be any like frustration or um question as to like, well, why am I paying you if you can't help me with this? It's like going, the two examples I give. One, it's like going to your PCP for a heart attack. Like your PCP is going to refer you to a cardiologist,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
PCP can probably identify the symptoms, know what is going on, but they're not the best person to treat it, right? So they're going to then
Mhm.
refer to the professional. It doesn't mean that your PCP goes away, you're never seeing them again, you only
Right.
work with a cardiologist. They're still part of your care team, but you have to see the specialist for this, right? Um, Same thing for me. My specialty is exercise. And so I'm here to help you train. I'm here to modify based on, pain, injury, so on and so forth. But when it comes to the really nitty gritty specificity, I'm taking that information from other providers. Another way that I describe it is like, if I have a bucket of water and a cup and I have to fill that bucket of water with all the water here, and I'm going one cup at a time, one cup
Yeah.
at a time, it's going to take a while. But if I give
Hmm.
a cup to your dietitian, and I give a cup to our pelvic health PT, and I give a cup to your OB, and now all of us are using our cups to move that water, we're going to fill that empty bucket a lot faster. We're going to get you
Yeah.
where you want to be a lot faster with that collaborative effort. And so it's just giving you a more complete experience.
Yeah.
So
That's a good
I think that
analogy.
is one piece where like I don't shy away from the information from others, and it actually makes me really sad when other providers, other caretakers, other practitioners are like so worried and against, like, nope, you don't have the all clear to go and do that because I don't know what they're going to do with them.
Hmm.
Just
Hmm.
a conversation. Like, let's
Right.
have a conversation. And I think
Yeah.
from my background in athletics, like you're constantly talking to your sports med team. Like me
Right.
and athletic trainers are texting daily about people who have injuries. Hey, what's the update? This is the plan for the day. Anything you see that you're like, please don't do that. What do you want me to add in? What are we changing? What did they do with you today? So I know what not to double up on
Right.
over
Right.
here. Um, yeah, I think less fear-based and just more conversations.
Yeah. It's like a scarcity mindset too that I think a lot of pe
Yeah.
people in our profession specifically have. So yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, so I would say like that's my biggest one. And then two others that pop into mind right now are like one, relatability. Like
Hmm.
I and it's taken me a while to get here, but like I really try not to dampen or shy away from like my personal issues with my body. Like I don't think I visually look like the fitness professional people, um, the masses of people are like desiring to work with. I think that, maybe sometimes I worry, like, is there fear that people have in coming to work with me because I don't have all these visible muscles or a flat stomach and no rolls and things like that. Um, but at the same time, like I'm a real person. I'm a real mom. I can recognize that like my stress levels are still freaking through the roof. I still have many days of horrendous sleep because I'm dealing with children.
Yes.
I'm stressed AF as a business owner, wife, mom, like all, and I know that all these things play a role. And I also know that the only way I'll eventually see something change, whether it's the shape of my body or my comfort with however my body looks, is if I'm continuing to show up for myself. And that's the message that I'm giving to my people is like, just keep showing up for yourself. Do this from a place of love, like love taking care of yourself, even on the days that it feels really shitty. And understand that like
Yeah.
some days take like loving yourself and taking care of yourself is going to be looking at the gym and saying, fuck you, I'm not doing that today. Like we're out of here. Like that is sometimes how you take care of yourself. And I'm
Yeah.
for that. And then, so yeah, being a real person, collaboration, and then just genuine care. Like, I mean, I really like, I made Mission Mama, and I think I'm a better strength coach now than I was when I worked in athletics. I think relatability to the people I'm working with and understanding the struggles that they're going with really makes a huge difference. And so, like I love my members. They come in, we laugh, we talk about our books. We're planning our second annual reading retreat. Like I can't wait to go away with these women. I sent it to the text message to my husband the other day. He was like, "Oh, so you're getting ready to ditch me again?" I was like, "You bet your ass I'm getting ready to ditch you."
Yeah. Have fun. Bye.
And with that, you know, I think some people may think like, isn't that a fine line? Because you're supposed to be like holding these people accountable. You're supposed to be like a authority. Like
Yeah.
these people
Professionalism.
don't want authority
Yeah.
figures. They want
Right.
someone who they can talk to. They want someone,
Right.
my people want someone they're comfortable with. They don't want a police
Right.
officer. They don't want somebody shaming them or making them feel bad. Like they want to be empowered. They want to be
Right.
community. They want the things that make them feel good because a lot of stuff as a mom feels good and a lot of stuff as a mom feels freaking bad. It
Hmm.
feels so bad.
It does.
Um, so yeah, like they make me feel good. That's why I created this place. And I think they feel that every day when they show up.
Yeah. Or they wouldn't keep showing up, right?
Exactly. They go to one of the other millions of places.
They're a glutton for punishment. Oh, you got me so emotional because there was this one gym that I interviewed at. I was one of the managers and I wanted to move into training. And the owner said that not to me, but to someone else, that I didn't look like a trainer, so I couldn't train. And at the time, one of the other trainers was getting ready to compete in a bodybuilding competition. And that has literally stuck with me for years, years. And like I cannot let it go. Like it's always there in the back of my mind. So like when you were talking about it, I was like, "Oh my God, I know exactly what you're saying." Because like
Yeah.
I've been there. I live that all the time. And it's like a horrible feeling because like you almost feel like, and I'm going to start crying. You almost feel like you have to like go above and beyond in everything else to prove that you belong here or
Yes.
that you should be here, that you are educated enough to coach these people and tell them what to do because you don't represent what the ideal body type for a trainer should quote unquote be. And like I get the whole like I to a point I understand the your body is somewhat your business card in this industry, which to a point I understand, except we don't know individuals' medical history. We don't know what's going on in their lives. Like, I've been through some shit. I mean, I have Hashimoto's. Like, you don't know that when you meet me. So, like, I try to give my clients and other people the same amount of respect that I don't know what's going on in your life. So, it's not for me to judge your appearance
Yeah.
because quite frankly, it's none of my business.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here to help you in any way I can, but like, it's not my job to judge you because it's probably going to be wrong if I do judge you because I have no idea what you're going through. So yeah, I was just like getting super emotional when you were saying that.
Yeah, we've said before, like there's no eye test for health and wellness,
Yeah,
fitness, or anything like that. And like I loved after the last Olympics when they started showing like this is what an elite female athlete looks
yeah,
like, right? And
it's
it's
really
like
cool.
all the like shot put throwers, it's the Olympic weightlifters, it was the pregnant archer, right? It's
Right?
the
Yep.
sprinters, and like you see all of these different bodies that are so capable, that are so
Yeah.
incredibly capable of all these incredible things. and they are elite, right? These are the fittest people like in the world.
Yeah.
And one story that I wanted to share just based off of what you were just saying. So this was about a year ago, and I was so proud of myself and so completely gutted going through this experience. I had an individual was looking for like on a Facebook group for a trainer to work with, and I think somebody had recommended me. And so I reached out to the individual, we connected, we chatted a little bit. I was just asking like general, what are you looking for? What are your goals? Things like that. We were just talking through Messenger. And this individual had said to me, like, I really want to lose weight. And I always get curious when I hear that goal, because like what's going on, what's underlying, is this something we've done before? What's the
Hmm.
need behind it? Is there a medical need? So on and so forth, right? And it was purely for physique reasons. And
Hmm.
that's fine, right?
Yep.
And the individual said, um, when I used to train, I'm curious what like your workouts look like, because when I used to train with my former trainer, she trained me like she trained herself because my goals were for my body to look like hers.
Mm-hmm.
And I like was hit with so much insecurity. So like I felt like somebody had just torn my stomach out of my body. Like I was just like, ugh,
Yeah.
my worst fear coming through.
Here it is, right in my face.
And like, I don't know, people will probably have opinions on how I handled it. But in that moment, it was like solidified for me that I was not the coach for this person.
Hmm.
And I ended up saying to this individual, I was like, you know, I I have a really deep like method and approach to how I write my programs, and they're specific for each individual person. And never once have I written a program because I think that person wants their body to look like mine. Um, I also don't like, I also know that that's not something that can actually happen, because
Right.
two people are exactly the same and therefore your bodies will not respond the same. So I'm sorry that
Hmm.
your previous trainer led you to believe that that was something attainable and specific. I said, but I'm willing to believe that my 230-pound body is not something that you're looking to achieve right now. And therefore, I don't feel as though I'd be comfortable working with you. And I bowed out, and potentially that was too much. Maybe looking back on it, I gave too much personal, like, or emotional response to that. But like, it hits deep, it cuts deep. And it's unfortunate for trainers who have had these experiences that potentially make them leave the field. Good
Yeah.
trainers,
100%.
educated
Hmm.
trainers, educated coaches, people who have put countless hours, programming minutes, sessions, heart, you know, into their clients, and that they're just getting overlooked because they don't look the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. And while you were saying that, I kind of want to like edit what I previously said when I meant your body is your business card, as in like I feel like it would be difficult. Like, for example, I'm learning to Olympic lift. Okay. It would be difficult for me to coach someone on how to Olympic lift if I had never Olympic lift.
Yeah.
So, like, through, are you doing the exercises? Do you know what it feels like?
Yeah.
More than aesthetically, I have six-pack abs, so clearly I know what I'm doing. Business card is what I meant, but that did not come out the way. That's what I meant. But
Yeah, yeah,
more
no,
like, have you done the exercises? Have you felt that? Like, are you asking to do are you asking your clients to do stuff that you've never done before? Like, that's where I think is a little.
that's what
I
just
mean,
came
I
to
haven't been
mind
an
for me is
Olympian,
like,
but
if you've always lived in a small body, couldn't that be? just as much a hindrance to coaching somebody who
True.
lives in a large body
A
than
hundred
being in a
percent.
large body. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
because you've never experienced that. You don't know what that
a
emotional
hundred
state
percent.
is, you know?
And
Um,
I think in those situations, it's the personality and the values of the coach if they're willing to take the time to listen and truly try to understand where that person is coming from.
yeah.
A lot of people will say, "Oh, should you coach menopausal women because you've never been through menopause?" That's a big thing for male trainers right now. I don't know if
Mhm.
you've been seeing this. Um, and I think it makes a difference on like what the coach does with that information in that
100%.
individual.
Yes, for sure. Yep. What are you coaching them for? Are you coaching them to go through menopause easily? Or are you coaching them to address the symptoms that they're having because of menopause from a performance standpoint?
Right.
I want to hear yours though. What are your, because the question was, what makes you different
Oh, yes.
as a coach?
Um, so I try to be the least judgmental I can be. So if you come to me, and people have told me some wild things, and I'm just like, okay, all right. And I try to um just be as least judgmental and as understanding as possible because I know everyone's situation is so different. And I don't want to be that person that like says something, and I know we don't do it on purpose, but like say something that sticks with them forever, like
Yeah.
that comment was. Like
Yep.
I didn't want to be that person. Like I wanted to be a safe space
Yep.
for them.
Hmm.
And so I think that really, and again, to your point, like, does that blur the lines of professionalism? Probably. Um, but I think at the end of the day, it's the mutual respect we have for each other that they understand, like, yeah, they're paying for a service, but also like I'm a human being just like they are, and we have similar struggles, just like you said. Um, I I try to be as open as honest. I guess that would be my other thing. Like, I don't think any subject is off the table. Like, ask me and I'll tell you. If I don't know, I'll go find out. So just being open and honest. And yeah, I don't know. I try to be, I think my last one would be I try to be as positive as possible. Like one of my sayings I was just telling was on one of my coffee with Chris's, but like we're not able to choose the hand we're dealt, but we do get to decide what we do with that. And,
Yeah.
I've been dealt some pretty shitty cards lately, and like I still show up and I'm still, you know, willing to push past that and be like, no, like my people need me and like I'm going to show up the best I can in this space for them. And my kid needs me and all those things. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
So that's what I would say. We only have a few minutes. So I had my last question might take too long. That's what I was thinking. Oh, we'll just do one. What is your biggest red flag when you're looking to hire a coach?
Oh, God, this isn't something that I've gone through yet. And honestly, I'm terrified to hire my first coach. Like, I'm
Okay, okay.
so nervous.
What would you say if someone else was looking for a coach?
Um, I think, do you feel comfortable with them? Like, do you
Yeah,
feel comfortable? Do you feel like they're giving you what you're asking for and respecting, whatever boundaries or limits exist?
okay. That's fair.
I think, I mean, this is why, like, because I reached out to you about doing this collaboration. I think that's exactly what I said to you. I was like, there are not many coaches I feel like I relate to and like agree with their type of
Yeah.
coaching. Um, I'm sure people feel the same way about me, 100%, because I'm one of the more, I feel like, taboo belief systems that exist here in this space. But Um, I think like a red flag would be any open outward judgment, like just like completely, you know, running their mouth or always having something negative to say after an individual left, not trying to like understand, empathize, um, anything like that would be like a huge red flag for me. And I'd just be like, yeah, this is not gonna be a good fit. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I would 100% agree with that. 100%. My red flag would be if they promise specific changes in a specific amount of time. I hate that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That would be a red flag. I mean, we could try we could go into the other questions next time, but yeah, that's what I would maybe we'll open with that one. We'll have to think about
Okay, all right. Yeah, for sure.
it.
Yeah, that'd be specifics. Training specific
Promise.
results
Yeah,
are.
training specific results.
Training
Yes.
specific results are not always.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. All
All
right. Well, this is
right.
fun. This is a little different and fun.
Yeah. Little quick
Okay,
one.
cool. Yeah, so we can jump to that last question for next time. But as always, I need to run for a client here. So as always, if we have questions, comments, concerns, please send them along. We've been enjoying doing this. So we'll be back on a regular schedule and keep it going from here. So until next time.
Until next time. Bye.
See ya.